Hi everyone, and welcome to What's in My Architectural Document Set. My name is Daniela, and I'm an interior designer. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through a complete renovation drawing set. I'm going to talk about how you can make your own renovation drawing set, how to make it clean, organized, consistent, and easy to read. I'm going to be using Rayon design today. You don't need to download a million different softwares to create beautiful interior design drawings. And trust me, I've been there, I've done that. I'm telling you, you can do it all with Rayon. So check the description and download the templates and follow along with me. I want to talk a little bit about the fundamentals. So the hierarchy of the drawing package. It goes from overview to smaller detail. You don't want to overwhelm your client or the contractor. You really want to hold their hand and take them step by step through the drawing package. So the first page is just a title page to introduce someone to the project. And then we get into the different layouts, such as the demolition plan, construction plan. We'll get into the lighting plan, the furniture plan. Then slowly you get into sections and elevations. From there, you get into the nitty-gritty. You get into all of the furniture you've sourced and tile, mood boards. From then, you've painted the full picture of the project. You want to wow your clients and you want your contractors to stay on track and actually understand the drawings. Let's get into the first page of this drawing set. So here we are. We're in the drawing set and I'm zoomed in on the cover sheet and sheet legends. So let's zoom in a little further here. So as we can see, we're sort of teasing the client, with this beautiful rendering. We have the project name, we have the address, we have the client, we have some information. This is really just to excite the client, introduce them to your design, right? The next sheets, we have the drawing set legend. So I think we're all familiar with, a legend, and we have all of the drawings here that we're actually going to go through today. We have the page where you can find, these drawings. And again, we have that consistent theme with the beautiful render. And that's all there is to it. There's not much to it, but I would say that these pages are very critical because if they don't look good, your client's not going to be very excited, and you want to set the project off on a very good note. So let's move on to the construction and demolition plan. Okay, so you can see that I've zoomed in on the demolition plan, which is really the first plan that you should pay attention to. And as you'll notice, there's a lot of red and there's a lot of hatching. What that means is it's going. And that's industry standard. So this should be understood by your tradesmen. We'll zoom in a little more here and we can see that there's a very clear and precise legend. And you can even see it's here, marked walls for demolition. And we can take a look at the plan and we can see what's going to be going on here. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit more of an open floor plan. And we can see how that's going to come to life once we go to the construction plan. So as you can see, the construction plan, it looks a little different. There's blue now. So blue is indicating what's new work, what's staying, what's new work, what's going to be added. So think walls, underheated flooring zones. We're thinking new construction, material types, heating circuits. And once again, this is all verified by this legend here. So it's very important for there to be a very clear legend. You obviously don't want your tradesmen to be confused on site. That's probably the worst thing that can happen. So now I'm actually going to show you how you can draw a wall in Rayon. And it's super, super easy. All you need to do is zoom in on where you want to draw this wall and click wall. Then it will prompt you to click a starting point. So let's say I want my wall to be here. And as you can see, you can click and drag, or you can be more intentional and type in the distance right here. But I'm just going to click and drag and click here. And as you can see, you can actually continuously go on and draw all your walls so they're attached. But I'm just gonna hit escape, and now I have this wall here. And you can see that it matches the current styling of the other walls in this drawing, which makes sense, but let's say I want to change this wall for whatever reason. I can just click here, I can detach this wall, and I could change the thickness, so I can make it really thick. I can change the hatch. I could change the color. So you can really customize each wall. You can also change the existing walls. So let's say here I wanted to change this to red. I could just click on it, click the style, and change the color. We are at the lighting and power plan. Obviously, this is critical information for the electrician. But let's take a little bit of a closer look. Here we can find fixtures, switches, outlets, and it's all going to be described here on the legend. So you're going to look over here. We're going to see what signifies a single key switch, two key switch. This is a typical block for a surface mounted ceiling light. And let's actually go into the drawing. And you're going to see, these hatched lines that indicate that these light fixtures are connected. And when it comes to lighting plans, they're very technical. They're not my favorite to design, I'll be honest, but they are very essential, obviously. And lighting design is very important. Good lighting is very important to the final appeal of the project. So you may be struggling with this, especially if you're a student. I know, I'm more on the creative end. Although I can do it, it is a bit of a pain. So Rayon actually has more information on how to create these lighting plans. So check out Rayon's How to Create Lighting and Power Plans. It will be linked in the description. Anyhow, let's get back to looking at this drawing. So let's say I want to actually add a light fixture to this. It's very easy. Let's go into Rayon's block library, which has over 4,000 blocks, which just is going to make your life a lot easier. So let's click this little cube, and we're going to click libraries. And let's browse a little bit. You see I was looking up bathroom because bathrooms, there's so many blocks that go into bathrooms. So you can see here they have just so many blocks, very detailed items such as the towel rail. You have toilets, you have even a towel hook. Like this goes such into the nitty-gritty. And we can even click and it's going to show you the top view, the front view, the side view, so you have it all. Let's quickly browse maybe kitchen. Considering in a kitchen, typically there's a lot of blocks that you got to input there. So you can immediately see there's the kitchen sink. Oh, we got a wood kitchen hood. That's fancy. Okay, so you got a wall shelf. That's what I got going on in my kitchen over here. So like I said, there's over 4,000 blocks. So you can get creative and it's easy. So, okay, let's go back to lighting. That's what we're doing, right? So I'm going to type in lights. And what do I want to do? Let's zoom in a little bit. Maybe I'll add a sconce. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, so here is the top. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit more. So let's add it here. This is just to show you how to do it. Okay, so we've rotated, which is very easy. You just hold it and the little rotation icon will pop up, and I placed it against the wall. Let me scale it. It kind of looks a little big, so we can scale it. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. like I said, this was just an example to show you. With lighting design, it's a little bit more advanced and there's a little bit more thought that goes into it. But yeah, we can just click and we can delete. And let's move on to the next drawing. Okay, so now we're moving on to the furnishing and flooring plan. And in this case, we've combined these plans. So sometimes you'll see in a drawing set that they're actually separate. So you'll see a drawing that has materials of, the flooring and such, and you'll see furniture separate. So you'll have to sort of use your discretion as a designer to see, if they need to be separate or if it's not too cluttered that they are together. So in this case, because we have our furniture blocks that are in nice light line weight, which I always recommend, we can get away with combining these plans into one. And it also gives a little bit of a more holistic picture of how this place is coming together. So as we can see, everything is clearly marked. We also have, our trusty legend, of course. But you're going to have to zoom in and take a look at what's going on and the specifics. As you can see, we also have this beautiful flooring here, but we don't have any flooring in the bedroom, which, maybe we want to represent that. Maybe we want to even, funk it up there. This isn't a tutorial on how to design. This is a tutorial on how you get to design. So let's take a look at how we can actually add a realistic texture here. So we're going to click, and as you can see, we have styles. And right now we sort of just have this hatch, right? So signifying we actually need to add something. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the library. So there we go. We have the beautiful chevron flooring, which I love. Probably one of my favorite flooring, but we got some concrete, we got some tile, we got brick, which would, be more suitable for a wall. We got some wood. Oh, we got some herringbone. I also love that. We got some rustic floor. So we got some, let's go for this one. Let's go for this one. And I wouldn't pair these two floors together, but once again, this is, you got to design yourself. I'm just showing you how to use Rayon. And let's rotate it, right? Maybe we want to funk it up further. So we click add tiling and we can control the rotation here. So let's say, I want to rotate it this way or that. Okay, let's say I'm happy with that. We can click out and there you go. We have flooring. So you can go through and you can detail your drawing with different materials. And this, once again, it helps your client visualize the material. And obviously the furniture plan is very important, and it's very important for it to be to scale, right? Because you want to make sure everything is going to fit properly. Trust me, it's an amateur mistake not to have a to-scale furniture plan. So now we're going to move on to sections and elevations. And this is a very important piece of the puzzle. I say that because typically clients love to refer to these drawings. As you'll see here, they do give you more of a realistic view of how things are going to come together. So you can see heights here, you can see, the relationship between all of the items, the spacing. This is especially critical for millwork. So think kitchens, bathrooms, anything custom. It's very critical for the mill workers, the trades, and once again, for your clients to really visualize their space. So typically the scale is at 1 to 25, but you're going to have to refer to the drawings to, verify that. And as you can see here, we got some materials, we have furniture here. So these are very detailed plans and they're coming at the end of the drawing set. Let's take a look at this section here. So like I was saying, millwork, very, very critical drawing. every millimeter counts. So it's very important to include these in your, drawing set, and to be very, very detailed and double check everything. So Rayon can help you create realistic 2D section renders, which not easy to create, but it's easy with Rayon. This will certainly improve your workflow, and it will improve your communication between, the mill worker and yourself. And Rayon itself, allows you to actually communicate with trades, with clients, whoever you want to invite. So I'm going to show you now how to add a comment and how we could actually share this drawing. So here I am on this elevation, and let's say I want to add a comment. So I can click here on this little comment box. It looks like a chat. And you can already see that I've actually added a comment. I said, I don't like the art, and I tagged Joe. Not the nicest comment, but in design, you gotta be honest. Let's say I want to add another one, and I can leave a nice comment. I can say, I like the sofa, and I can tag Joe again. If Joe was on my team, he would pop up and I'd be able to tag him, and I could simply post. So now we have 2 comments and Joe can respond. So let's say that I actually want to share this drawing. I can just go over here and press share. And this is going to give me a few different options. So I can type in different emails, and I can have, them just view the drawing. I can have them edit depending on who it is, right? So you can add your clients here. Obviously you can add, a team member, or I can even just share a link. I can create a link. Whoever has the link can access. So it depends on your needs, but it's very, very easy to share. And there are different ways that you can share. You can just share it as a presentation. Once again, if it's going to your clients, that's probably the way that you want to go. And if it's going to someone that you want, to edit possibly, you would give them a little bit more access. So now we're at the end of the drawing package, and we're at the mood boards and FF&E pages. So that's furniture, fixtures, and equipment, if you didn't know. So this is a very visual portion of the drawing package, and it really helps clients, see how all of the sourcing comes together. So you can see here, there's, this beautiful table of showing the wall finishes, right? We can go over here and we see all of the light fixtures, how they're actually going to look. And, they're coming together beautifully, I must say. And once we get into the mood boards, people love mood boards because you really do understand how the space will look. Of course, there's a beautiful render. There's further information on some of the finishes. And we can see the same over here. Once again, nice large photos of the actual finishes, right? So it's critical to show the aesthetic and also the technical information. You have to have both. So let's say, we want to swap some things on this mood board. So let's take a look here. We have these 2 beautiful chairs, all fine and dandy. Let's delete one. And we can see, once again, love this little collage. Let's actually import a new photo. And I'll show you how easy it is to remove the background. Because as we all know, when we're sourcing and we're saving photos, you get these ugly backgrounds, and you don't want that. You don't want to show your client that. So I've just imported this, and let's edit. And we can just remove the background here. Done. You can edit some of the photo details if you really need. And now we can scale it, and we can plop it wherever we want. Not bad. Kind of goes with the chair. But anyhow, these are some very critical pages, and you want clear references, you want tags that link directly into the drawing, so it's very intuitive. You don't want your client sort of going back and forth looking. You want it to be as user-friendly as possible, and that's very possible with Rayon. That is how you can create a complete apartment renovation drawing set. If you'd like to try this for yourself, you can download the free apartment renovation template. It will be linked below. And also keep in mind that Rayon has a ton of other templates that are free to you, which is absolutely amazing. So you can customize these templates, really make them your own with your own branding. And there's also a ton of other things that you can do. You can import and export drawings, you can extract data and create tables. You only need one app, which is Rayon. So if you have any questions for the Rayon team, you can leave them down below. We'll get back to you. We'd be happy to chat. And we hope that you stick around, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.